Alright, I'm back, folks. Sorry that took longer than I expected. How's everything going? Did everything go horribly wrong while I was gone? I live next door to my parents, and, my dad has pool night on Thursdays, which I completely forgot about. But she has chickens. Half your base got destroyed. It's all good otherwise. I think you're lying to me. I think you're lying to me, Tally. I don't think you're telling the truth. But, yeah, so my mom has chickens, and usually my dad helps her put them away. But I forgot that tonight was the night that he goes to play pool at the bar. And, she called and asked me to come over and help out, which I don't mind, and I got an apple dumpling out of it, so I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. So let's get rid of this BRB text. We don't need it anymore. Alright, so what were we doing? I think we were trying to get a bunch of accumulators for power. We need a bunch of these, and of course we have a bunch of silicon as well. Let's go ahead and drop out the silicon in... Sorry about that, I just sneezed. I'm pretty sure I have a... Yeah, no, it's right here. This is my silicone storage. We only need like one or two of these. There we go. Okay, so what do I need to build 20 of these accumulators? Is it magnets? Is it the magnets we're missing? It is. It's always these friggin' magnets, man.
Light mode.
It's always the magnets. I don't understand. How do they work? Okay, let's throw a couple of magnets into our inventory. Maybe if we weren't carrying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stacks of stone, we would have more room for magnets. But that's not the way we roll here. Okay, so now we have 11. We still need to build... Actually, hold on. We should be able to make this so much easier. We already have the engines. We just have to go grab them. Since I haven't needed these engines to build conveyors, I just tend to completely forget that I have them to use. Okay, so that should help. Yeah, that gives us the 20 things that we need. We are going to need to start producing these guys, the super magnetic rings, which also requires magnets and graphite, energetic graphite. Which that should be doable. We actually have energetic graphite coming along this road right here. It's not a lot. But if we redirect this and pull out of here and bring it this way, we should be able to produce those pretty easily. So then our big challenge is just getting the magnets over here, which I don't see any... Wait, I'm stupid. There's iron right here. I was about to say I don't see any iron that we could use to source them locally, but there's iron right here, so we can just source that locally. Okay. That's definitely good to know. So, let's drop down this guy. We're gonna put it over here. This is something that we're going to be using a lot of later on, but right now, we literally just need it to charge these accumulators. These batteries. Let's drop this guy right here.
You
We've built a powerful energy exchanger. It can quickly charge accumulators with surplus electricity from the power grid, or rapidly release electric power stored in accumulators to the power grid.
So,
it continuously supplies power to the
Jarvis, I can explain, Jarvis. It's okay. So, what the accumulator does, it has two functions. The first function, well, it has three functions if you count the idle function, but we don't really count the idle function. So, it has two functions. The first function is the ability to charge these accumulators. They can charge them. And they can turn them into full accumulators. Which is pretty handy. It's pretty handy. It lets you pick up and it transport energy across the universe, basically. The other thing that it can do is it can discharge. So in discharge mode, what it does is it pulls the energy out of the accumulator and it puts it back into the grid. But for this purpose, we're only really interested in charging the accumulators because we want to use them for the orbital resource collection. So what else do we need for this? We need 20 reinforced thrusters. That's going to be a little bit of a task. Not that much of a task, but a little bit of a task. We don't really have production lines set for reinforced thrusters. I'm not really sure if we need production set for reinforced thrusters. But that's nice to see. All of that titanium right there, considering how short we were of it earlier, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. And we can grab just a couple stacks of the... Oh, I guess we already do have a bunch of this. So what we actually need is... Where is it? Where is it? I know we have... Here. Is this it? Is this what we're looking for? No, we're looking for electromagnetic turbines. A completely different engine. Look, there's so many resources in this game, and they go into so many different things, and it's hard to keep track of them, even, like, over the short term. And I'm not very bright to begin with, so I have to work doubly as hard. There we go. There we go. So we need 20 of these. Was it 20? Yeah, 20. That should be pretty easy to do. Okay.
Light mode.
Okay, we should really stop screwing around and actually set up the deuterium production, yeah? Do we do that in the assembly machines? Oh, we need super magnetic rings for that. That's why those were in my head. Well, that's why those were in my head, plus the fact that we needed for the other thing that we were doing. Okay, so we do need to get production set up for the super magnetic rings. Like I said, that shouldn't be too terribly difficult. Just a little bit of a pain, that's all. I think it's time that we solve a problem that I've been having for a period of time. And that is protecting these solar panels, which we've done a terrible job at so far because, well, I'm bad at my job. There, this needs to go back a little bit. Here we go. I had the bright idea to build my solar panels in front of my defenses, and as it turns out, that's a terrible idea. Who would have thought? There we go. Let's bring this up this way. Like that. Through there. Through that. The curvature of the planet is making this a little bit difficult. But that's okay. We'll make it work.
Insufficient materials.
There we go. Nice.
Replication complete.
So my primary goal for this is twofold. Obviously, by doing this, I solve the problem that is my solar panels continuing to be destroyed by the dark fog when it attacks me. That's the first thing it does. The second thing it does is it gives me all this extra room in here to build, which I'm going to need to build up the next step of this plan. So, first step is we need more magnets. How do they work? Let's go ahead and start mining here. Like that. And we'll just kind of bring this out and over. Like that. So this will produce the magnets that we need. It's also way too close to this line. It should be fine. We should be able to transport over that. Yeah? Yeah. It's a little bit silly, but that's okay. Okay, you guys make magnets. There we go. Okay, now we need energetic graphite. We have energetic graphite down here. Is there an easier path to get it over here? I'm trying to look to see if I have, like, a planetary logistics station. We have one right here. But that's currently busy getting hydrogen from across the map. What were we using the water here for again? Oh, we were using it for the chemical plants. Okay. So, how do I want to do this? I think maybe we just load up this energetic graphite into this interstellar logistics station. I don't really think... No, is that what we want to do? I feel like this still needs some work. Maybe we need to put more pilers here. Let's go ahead and put more pilers in here. We really want to ramp up the production of energetic graphite, which we already have a lot of. We have the production for it. We just need to kind of filter it down a little bit. It's running into a really bad like choke point right here, which is a problem. Don't mind me as I enjoy my dumpling, my reward for helping my parents.
Replication complete.
Okay. We'll go ahead and we'll stick a piler here. One thing I don't know is that it really feels like it's kind of constricting right here, and this is causing a problem. I don't know if it actually is. It probably is. There's definitely probably a better way to do this. That's the running theme of this game. There's better ways to do it, but this is the way that we're doing it. There we go. So we'll pile that. And then we'll also put a piler here. Maybe. If we can. There we go. So we'll see how that works. We'll see if that will get more graphite. Okay, so this is where we were. We were at around 250. And it dropped. This is where we were adjusting the line. And now it looks like we're at, 330, 310. Somewhere in that range. I think it definitely helped. I wonder if we just need to feed more. See, this is where I don't really like this setup. And this was recommended to me by a viewer, and I appreciate the help. I appreciate, people offering their opinions and thoughts. But my first reaction is that in order to increase the amount of coal that goes through this splitter, I should add more coal going in. But with this depot above the splitter, I'm going to have to, do something like this. Is that the right height? No, it's 3 high. Like something like this. And we're gonna have to drop it down. Bear with me. We'll do that. Functionally, what we need to do is we need to bring more coal into the splitter. So what if we doubled this? Now bear with me. Again, bear with me. If we take this out and we put another splitter here, we can feed that in there, and we can feed that in to there. And then this isn't going to be perfect, I don't think. But we may be able to get some more oomph out of this.
Replication complete.
Let's put a piler here. This will technically, like, double the input. That looks a lot better. Yeah, look, we're filling this up now. And as this fills up, more will come this way. And hopefully it'll fill it all up. Okay, so where does that leave us with the graphite? Yeah! Now we're up even higher. So we were at about 254. And then the first adjustment got us about an extra 50 production. And then now with like a whole bunch of extra input, we're up to almost 450 production. Over however long this is. How long is a tick? It's 10 seconds. This is every 10 seconds, I think. Something along those lines. And that's just, like, using the resources that we have and adjusting this to get more resources to where it needs to go. So that's kind of the weird thing with the way this is set up, is because, like, if it was just all going into a depot, I could just increase how much was coming out of the depot. It might be a little bit more complicated than that. I don't know. But yeah, now we should be... Oh, look at that. Look at all of that graphite. Which means this should be filling up. Which means we shouldn't have any qualms about pulling a bunch of graphite out of there for the next phase of our little project here. I have too much random crap in my inventory. Whatever.
Flight mode.
I'm sure that crisis will resolve itself as we start building lines. Alright, let's run this the whole way down. Now, this should already be proliferated going in. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Hey Mongo, how's it going? What's going on in this place? We're gonna build a Dyson Sphere. Eventually. Sometime in the next year. We're probably going to have a Dyson Sphere. Maybe. Probably. Eventually. Am I winning, son? I'm not losing. We'll put it like that. We're not losing. Yet. Okay. Let's bring this the whole way over here. It's a little bit awkward, but that's okay. It's allowed to be a little bit awkward. Wait, is that not... Okay, I was about to say, is that not working? It was just being weird. Okay. So with this, we should be able to produce the engines that we need. We'll start with 4. 4 seems like a good number to start with. Paradox and whoever made this game needs to collab and build, and building your mega structures in Stellaris needs to be based on how good you do in this. I don't think anybody would be building mega structures in Stellaris if it was based on how good you do on this. Speaking of, we need to play Stellaris again. New update, new DLC just dropped. It's pretty dope. Oops, I Woken and I were playing it the other day. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Okay, so this is going to build super magnetic rings. There we go. As soon as I find an extra 500 gigabytes of hard... It's not... Okay, Stellaris is not 500 gigabytes in size. Let me take a look here real quick. You can't see what I'm doing because I'm recording the game window specifically. But let's take a look at Stellaris here. Stellaris is 26 gigabytes. It's a lot, don't get me wrong. It's definitely a decent amount. That one game, no, but all of the other games combined are. That's fair. Okay, let's go ahead and start this production, shall we? So this is going to serve a lot of purposes. We need these, I guess we could call them another tier of engine. We need these, like, higher tier engines for a lot of stuff. I have an external hard drive, but you forgot if it's an old hard drive or an SSD. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, so there's a few things that we need these engines for. First thing and foremost, we need it for Mark III conveyors, which is actually extremely nice and convenient that our conveyor production is right here. So actually, we can probably set that up right now. Like, let me just grab, like, 2 of these. And we can literally just start producing Mark III conveyors right now, which is pretty nice. Oh, there we go. I didn't have that set right. That's okay. Oh, come on. Why don't I always ever have the resources that I need? Yeah, I need a bunch of these. No, I don't need a bunch of these. What am I missing? You know what? Whatever. The game will figure it out, I'm sure. Yeah, and that also means that we can... No, we can't quite build pile sorters, which is like the top tier grabber item. We can build them, but we can't, like, mass produce them. In order to do that, we need to set up production for these processors, which is just gonna be a lot of effort that we're going to have to deal with eventually. Ooh. Right. Proliferator. How are we going to proliferate all of this stuff? Actually, it might not be too hard. We should be able to just pull a conveyor off of here and bring it over this way, like that. There we go. And then we can run it over here. Like that. And then finally over here with this little bit of production, we also need to proliferate our magnets. So we can run it like this. Ooh. Like the, oh, no, wait, hold on. Come on, there we go, like this. And actually, while it's over here, I'm going to put it into a sorter. Like that. There we go. And we're gonna plug it in there. So what this will do is it'll proliferate our magnets, which will make it more efficient to produce things. We'll get extra product from it. And then we can also run this over into this side of the base. So eventually we'll proliferate our hydrogen so that we can zoom it around even better. It'll be great. And and then we'll go from there.
Flight mode.
But the nice thing about this is that we finally have our tier 3 conveyors. which honestly, we've had for a long time. I've been sorely missing them. I have not been using them as much as I should because they're a pain to make. But now that the process is automated...
Dark fog cluster is launching an assault.
Also, the dark fog is attacking. That's okay. Conveyors. Oh no, we need more things. We need graphene. I forgot the graphene. Okay. Well, we still need one more thing for that. But for now, let's go over here and bully the dark fog. And by bully the dark fog, I mean stand here and look ominous while our turrets do all the work. Nice. Ooh, there's actually a lot of them. I think we'll be okay, though. I think we'll be okay. Oh, yeah, we're fine. We're 100% fine. Fair enough. Okay, so graphene. We need to get graphene over here. Where's our graphene? Our graphene is... Where is our graphene? Our graphene is literally on the opposite side of the planet. So we need to get it here, and it's all the way over here. Half the size of a deck of cards? Half the size of a deck of cards sounds like it should be an SSD, but no promises. Okay, so here's what we can do. I say hesitantly. Okay, here's what the plan is. It's gonna be a little weird. Is it even worth doing that? You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just go for it. Let's send it. Again, I've said it many times before. I'm not looking for efficiency. I'm just, you know, chilling and working towards a Dyson Sphere. And eventually we'll get to that. Okay, so I want you to supply graphene. Yeah. So when I start filling this bad boy up, that planetary supply point should be able to proliferate it across the planet. Not like actual proliferator. It's 2 terabytes. Plugging it in, here goes nothing. What's the worst that could happen? It totally wouldn't have a killer virus on it that just deletes your computer, right? There we go. All right. You're curious if it's even working? You haven't used it in like 5 years. That would be a concern, yeah. Okay, so that planetary logistics station now has graphene. So we should be able to come over here to this. We should be able to come over here to this logistics station. The interstellar logistics station. And we should be able to demand graphene. And then we should be able to just bring it up the same way that we did before. Using conveyors. And also, while we're here, should be able to just plug a proliferator right in here. By the way, this entire time we haven't been doing any research because we've been deficit on, what's it called? Hydrogen. But hey, at least we almost have 2 full tanks of deuterium. At least we still have zoomy hydrogen. Alright, whatever, it's fine.
Insufficient materials.
Okay, I don't want to waste time just kind of standing around doing nothing, so let's just move this. We'll just keep this moving. Okay, so how am I going to plug this in? Because I set this up not thinking that I was going to need a 3rd line. I mean, what if I just did that? So it's a little bit weird. But there's nothing saying that I can't have, like, an input and an output on the same side.
Replication complete.
And we can even slap a sprayer in right there. Yeah. Alright, there we go. Finally, we have tier 3 conveyors. It's a beautiful thing. It brings a tear to my eye. Okay, that's only the first step of what we have to do here. The entire original reason why we wanted to build that, well, there was 2. We need them for deuterium rods. Oh, we actually need a lot of things for deuterium fuel rods. We're almost to that point. We have all that stuff. It's just getting it to the right spot. And we also need to finish the orbital collector, which requires 50 of these. But now we have many hundreds of them. So that'll be good. And we should have the accumulators too. Yeah, the accumulators should be charged at this point. There we go. Now we just need, what, more copper? I think we need more copper. Which, we have more than enough copper, we just need to come and grab it. It's kind of funny how important copper is, because it is very important. But, you know, we actually have a fair amount of copper being produced, still, to this day. Are we even going over the amount that we need? No, we're still producing more than we're using, which is good. It's very good. Okay. So that should get us... Oh, we need steel. Okay. Steel is another resource we're going to have to start really producing a lot more of. It worked? Well, that's good. Hopefully you'll get the fog defeated as soon and your sphere going soon. I hope so. It's just something that'll take some time. Yeah, this is a bit of a problem. We're not producing enough steel. Where's all this steel going? Oh, it's being used to build foundations. How much foundation do we actually have at this point? 14.3 thousand. We'll just take a stack of that.
The foundation is a terrain level.
Thank you, Jarvis. I appreciate it.
Used to level the terrain.
It sure can be.
It can't be used to change the landforms of the planet. Using the foundation on highlands generates soil piles. And it consumes soil piles.
What am I still missing?
On ocean or low-lying areas. When laying the foundation, you can choose a decoration option or leave it plain and just level the terrain.
I think it's silicon. I think silicon is what we're missing.
Flight mode.
This is definitely a thing that we're going to have to work out a little bit better. But I knew this coming in that this was going to be a pain, so... See, do we even have enough to build, like, one thing? Not really. Can I at least get, like, the planetary collector? Come on, game. Work with me. Believe in the me that believes in you. Okay. So we can build one of those, finally. Now I think we need more graphene for these particle containers.
Flight mode.
Found stuff you haven't touched since COVID? Well, I mean, if you haven't been using it for that long, that makes sense. It makes sense that you would find stuff that you haven't been used since then. Okay. So yeah, now we just have to wait 350 plus seconds for all of this to
Flight mode.
build. And in the meantime, we can come over here and enjoy the view of 1,600 Mark III conveyors. It's beautiful. So I am going to stop this for the time being. I'm going to stop this for the time being because I want to actually deposit... I'm going to have to turn all of my Mark II conveyors into Mark III conveyors, which is going to take a long time. And I'm going to want to put those Mark II conveyors, the old ones, back into the system so that they can be upgraded to Mark III. So I want these to empty out, actually, so that I can start upgrading my paths.
Insufficient materials.
Which, actually, if we have the space to do it, which we kind of do, yeah, we could probably start working on that now. Like, what's some of our most important production lines? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is my energetic graphite. So we can come over here, and we can just upgrade this entire line. We can upgrade all of these guys.
Flight mode.
This is not something that's going to take overnight. I wonder how long it'll take you to fill up a 2 terabyte solid state drive now. Just install everything and move it over. It'll probably take a while if you do it that way, but I know from experience it does not take very long to fill up one of those drives. I have a 2 terabyte solid state drive in my computer, and it does not take long for me to fill it up. There we go. So that should increase the speed of all of that significantly. So the next thing that comes to mind is actually my proliferator. Because I've been struggling to get proliferator everywhere. I've been using it a bit too fast, too much. I may take the time to go and work on upgrading that as well. I want to make sure I have at least one inventory space available. Yeah, so I want to upgrade all of this stuff over here. Let's see, I think... Where am I producing the proliferator? I'm producing it right here. So that's all the Mark 1 proliferator. Then it comes over here. And over here, it turns into Mark 2 proliferator. And the production is actually pretty slow right now because of the lack of diamonds. Which is interesting.
Flight mode.
Why am I short on diamonds? Is it just this? It is just this. I need to increase the output of this guy. Which is a pretty easy fix. We just gotta do that. And that should double the output. Make sure it all gets down to the end. Yep. That should produce so many more diamonds now.
Flight mode.
There we go. This is a great way of seeing just how much faster the Mark III conveyors are versus the Mark II. The Mark III conveyors are so much faster.
Flight mode.
Okay, so that should solve the diamond problem here. And then they come over here. Yep. And then the proliferator goes the entire length of my base. Oh! What did I just do? Why did it just yeet proliferator everywhere? Oh, did I not have the space for... I bet I didn't have space for the Mark II conveyors. Is this planet just really small, or are you flying around in like a galactic-sized construction mech? Hard to say. It's hard to say. I know the scales of, like, the planetary systems are fairly on point, anyhow. I don't know how much the game has been scaled up or down to compensate for that kind of stuff. So, like, just as an example, let's go ahead and fly to the other planet to get some... honestly, let's just fly to the other planet to get some perspective on the scale, shall we? Let's go get some fuel first, because I don't have any. Not really. I have a little bit, but not a lot. It's a little bit jank because my inventory is so ridiculously full of random nonsense. Actually, we're going to be dropping off the orbital collector here soon, so that should be able to give us a little bit of a sense of scale. Yeah, we'll just wait for the orbital collector to be done. I'm willing to bet, considering you can achieve escape velocity, you assume in the same mech you're likely massive. That would be my guess. Like, if I... Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know. The scale is probably a little bit weird, but, like, this kind of gives you an idea of the scale. This is a huge tree. And we're probably, like, I don't know, 100 feet tall. But yeah, they probably did downsize things a little bit, just because,
Flight mode.
you know, the scale issues aside, it would take a lot to simulate that kind of stuff. But, I mean, the scale of the solar system is really quite large. Like, it can take some time to fly between these planets. It takes me, like, 2 minutes to fly to this planet. If I was to go to any other planet manually, you can see the travel times in number of hours at max speed. It would take me 8 hours to travel to Rookbat. It would take 3 hours, real life time, to travel to Cursa. So there's definitely probably like some scale reduction. But it's pretty big. It's pretty bigly. Okay, do we have our orbital collector. We're working on our transportation ships. So the nice thing about the orbital collector
Cruise mode.
is that it has its own power supply. That's what those 20 batteries were for, that the construction needed. So we don't actually have to worry about it running out of fuel. But yeah, it's a pretty sizable world. It's a pretty sizable universe. All right, and here we are at the gas giant. It's about what you would expect from a gas giant, yeah? It's a gas giant. There's not much going on here other than there's a bunch of gas that we can exploit. And I think you can only set, yeah, orbital collectors can only be set at the equator. I'm not quite sure where the equator is. Well, I mean, I guess I could find out. I can also manually collect resources from gas giants. I didn't actually know I could do that. Interesting.
Insufficient materials.
You know what? We're just going to kind of wave our
Replication
mouse
complete.
around until we find where we can build this thing.
Cruise ended.
Oof. That hurt my fuel for some reason. Let's see. Looks like the equator's... Oh, it's over here. Okay. Yeah, it's this line right here. I mean, it doesn't really matter where we put this, right? We can just kind of plop it there.
You've constructed an orbital collector.
I did!
It can automatically
I did,
collect
Jarvis.
resources from this giant. Set your other interstellar logistics stations as an interstellar demand for these resources.
I know how to do that. It's
and
okay.
the logistics vessels will automatically collect the cargo. Resources produced will first be converted into energy to sustain the operation of the collector.
Okay, so I don't actually need to put interstellar logistics vessels onto this orbital collector. I just need to put it onto the orbital collector, or the, not the orbital collector, the interstellar logistics station on my home world. Okay. Fair enough, game. Fair enough. Okay. All right, we're doing a good job. We need about a bajillion of these. We have one. We need about a bajillion of them. We need so much hydrogen. So much hydrogen that it hurts. Where's my home world? So I think it's on the other side of the planet. Okay, we need to be a little bit careful with our fuel. Oh, that's got to be the neutron star. That's got to be why it looks so weird. Okay. It's good to know. It's good to know. I was wondering why that star looked so funky. And it's because it's a neutron star. That makes sense. Alright. Well, this is a massive coup, having that even one orbital collector, because it means we're going to have a lot more hydrogen coming in. A lot more hydrogen. And by adding more interstellar logistics vessels to this, we're going to get more of these resources even faster. So our next task is to get the hydrogen over to here. Which, this should already be demanding hydrogen. Yeah. So it should diffuse down the line, and we should actually start producing more cherry cubes at this point. Yeah? Cherry cubes? Not only cherry cubes, but also hydrogen fuel cells. It's going to take some time to fill up, though.
Flight mode.
And I should probably add more logistics drones, not to here, but I should add more logistics drones to the interstellar logistics station so that it can provide resources faster. So we can go ahead and knock that out real quick. It's really cool watching the little, like, transport ships transport things everywhere. It's a nice little touch. Okay, so let's take a look at this graph. We're going to go to Proliferator. It's the Mark II Proliferator. We're still really slow on production for that, probably because of the whole Diamond issue. But Diamond, yeah, Diamond should improve because we're producing a lot more faster. And we are producing more Diamond than we're consuming. So, in theory, if we just left that situation go, then it should resolve itself eventually. But we are burning through a lot of Proliferator. A lot of Proliferator. There we go. Okay.
Flight mode.
So we should now be producing more red cubes. Look at those red cubes go. That was the main bottleneck preventing our research from being finished. We have plenty of blue and yellow cubes. It's just the red cubes that were holding us back. So that's good. That's good to know. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working at upgrading all of my conveyors. Every single one of my conveyors. It's going to be extremely boring to watch. It's going to be really boring to watch. But that's okay.
Flight mode. Upgrade complete.
Look at that. We actually finished the research. It's a miracle. Okay. There's so much stuff we need to upgrade.
Flight mode.
I think this is next. We need to upgrade our deuterium production. Which should be pretty easy to do. Should be pretty straightforward. There we go. Our zoomy hydrogen is zooming even faster. Sitting here reinstalling close to 1 terabyte of games onto your SSD. Look, it's fine. It was inevitable. Okay, I didn't actually need to upgrade this line just yet, but I guess we are. Okay. Is that whole line upgraded? Nice.
Flight mode.
You know, I was going to do this methodically. Now I'm just kind of clicking. If I see green conveyors, I click upgrade. That is what this has become. There we go. How many of these do we have left? Many. See. We are having power issues. It's something that we're familiar with, but we should probably also work towards fixing. But I think we're nearing the point where we can actually start working towards fixing that in a more permanent manner. At least for now. At least until the next bottleneck. There we go. What is this? What was this? I don't know. A remnant from an older time, I'm sure. Here we go. Let's get these red cubes moving, shall we?
Flight mode.
Will that upgrade the entire length? No. There is a limit to how far it'll upgrade. There we go. I'm almost out of Mark III conveyors. Okay.
Flight mode.
Let's see, how does our power situation look? It'd be easier if I actually selected a power plant, huh? 80%? 85%? It's not awful. It's not awful, I guess. So I know we're burning through all of our high-tier engines to get these conveyors going. I think it's worth it in the long run. I think it's worth it. Because eventually we're not going to have to come back and grab several hundred of these things. It'll just kind of sort itself out. Although, We may just want to expand our production of this. You know what?
Insufficient
We can do
materials.
that. We can do that. We have the technology. Here, put all of this in. Put all of this in. Oh. Whatever, that's fine. We'll grab a couple of these.
Flight mode.
And then let's go grab our things again. Things are moving way faster, though. It's really nice. There we go. We have so much random crap in here. We can probably get rid of some of this random crap. That's fine. Do we have the technology? Yes and no. We're missing the silicon for these chips. Silicon is going to be an issue.
Flight mode.
I mean, it has continued to be an issue. I don't need that much. Thank you, game. There we go. Just build like 4 of those. Did not mean to do that. Let's upgrade our production buildings. At least a couple of them. At least these 4. We're not quite to the point, I think, where we can upgrade all of our production buildings, but we should be able to at least upgrade these to be more efficient and faster. I don't remember how much faster these are. I mean, I could look. Production speed 0.75. So I guess they're like 25% faster. It says significantly produced or significantly improved production speeds. Where is the next tier of arc smelter? We definitely get another arc smelter at some point. There's that proliferator. The last tier of proliferator. We need carbon nanotubes for that, though.
Replication complete.
Quantum printing? No, that's the 3rd tier of assembly machine. Let's research for attack drones. Let's just not worry about it. We'll find... Oh, wait. There it is. Plain smelter. We need a lot of stuff for that. Okay, yeah, we're nowhere near that. Fair enough. Fair enough, game. How many of these did we build? 4. Okay. Let's see how much faster this goes. I mean, I really don't know if that's that much faster. I really don't know if that's that much faster. I mean, I can look. What are these called again? Super magnet rings? Let's see. So we were making about... I don't know. Let's go down to 10 minutes. About 8 every 10 seconds. And now we're making about 10 to 12 every 10 seconds. Ish. I don't know exactly how that math works, but it's fine.
Insufficient materials.
We'll build a couple more. I don't know how many more we can squeeze in here, but we can at least squeeze 1 or 2. These are important. We're gonna use a lot of these, so we might as well get comfortable.